Distractions have been used in WWE matches for decades. A distraction can occur when a wrestler's manager or associate tries to distract the opponent, or an individual not even sanctioned in the match will do everything they can to distract their arch rival. Whilst most of the time these distraction spots are straightforward, from time to time WWE have been known to smartly execute them by doing something unique and memorable. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at 10 ingenious ways a wrestler distracted their opponent in WWE. Number 10. The Boogeyman. The infamous character known as the Boogeyman was given a substantial push early in 2006. This push paid off with a high-profile match with Booker T at WrestleMania 22, and the build to this aforementioned match featured some hilarious segments. During a match on SmackDown, Booker was facing Tatanka, and it looked like Booker was about to win the matchup, but then everything went wrong. The Boogeyman's sinister music would begin to play, and when Booker glanced over at his wife Sharmell, who was doing commentary, he realized that the Boogeyman was in the crowd behind her. This allowed Tatanka to roll up Booker and secure a huge victory. What made this segment work was Booker, as his mannerisms and facial expressions sold a distraction as if he was truly terrified. Number 9. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Our fans were in for a treat on the road to WrestleMania 19 as The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin rekindled their iconic feud one final time. During this feud, The Rock would enter into a brief TV exclusive feud with the Hurricane, and the Hurricane would even defeat The Rock in a match on Raw. The way he won this match was thanks to a distraction by Steve Austin, but this was a slightly unconventional distraction. Austin's music would hit during the match, and to the surprise of fans, Austin charged down to the ring. This was unconventional in the sense that WWE has always been prone to using theme songs to distract a wrestler, but this time, the wrestler actually appeared. This ultimately led to the Hurricane delivering a roll-up to defeat The Rock in one of the biggest upsets in WWE history. Number 8. The Undertaker. Now, The Undertaker was notoriously the king of mind games, and during his 2004 feud with Kane, The Undertaker did everything he could to mess with his half-brother. During a match between Kane and Goldberg on Raw, lightning would strike the ring, and then an ominous video package played on screen. Kane was totally stunned by this distraction on screen, and eventually turned around into a devastating spear from Goldberg. Taker wouldn't stop there, as after Goldberg had hit the spear, mysterious fog would fill the ring, and in hilarious fashion, Goldberg simply exited the ring as he wanted no part of Taker's supernatural shenanigans. This would all lead to the return of the Dead Man persona at WrestleMania 20. This was a beloved persona that Taker would pretty much keep intact for the remainder of his WWE career. Number 7. Miss Elizabeth. The inaugural SummerSlam event was main evented by an epic tag team match pitting the Mega Powers versus the Mega Bucks. This match was highly entertaining, and the match finish managed to incorporate one of the most celebrated managers of all time in Miss Elizabeth. Towards the end of the match, Elizabeth would get on the apron and she would rip off the bottom half of her dress. This distracted everyone in the ring, including the special guest referee Jesse Ventura. This brief distraction allowed Macho Man and Hulk Hogan to regroup on the outside, and Macho Man was able to climb onto the top rope and take out Andre the Giant in one of the most exciting moments on the entire match. And just before we get into number 6, if you're enjoying the video, drop a like, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos. Also, check out our new channel, Wrestlelamia Shorts. Number 6. Stacy Keibler. Stacy Keibler's partnership with the Dudley Boys was a career highlight for the Hall of Famer, and during the Dudley Boys matches, she would often try to distract the Dudley Boys opponents in creative ways. The most hilarious way she did this was on the 7th January 2002 edition of Raw from Madison Square Garden. The Dudley Boys were defending their tag team titles against Spike Dudley and Taz, and allowed to establish both men as elite main event level talent, and it was no surprise that in 2014, the two main evented a pay-per-view over a featured match between John Cena and Randy Orton. The two had some incredible moments together, and one of these took place during a match between Rollins and Heath Slater on Raw. As Rollins and Slater were wrestling, Ambrose would taunt Rollins with Rollins' Money in the Bank briefcase. Ambrose would proceed to pour a soda into Rollins' briefcase, and he would even fill it with a fan's popcorn. Ambrose's comedic antics would be enough to distract Rollins long enough for Slater to roll up Rollins, making it one of the most shocking upsets of Rollins' decorated career. Number 4. Kurt Angle. In 2001, WWE decided to turn Kurt Angle babyface. This was a bold move, but one in which fans reacted with intense enthusiasm. During this babyface run, Angle would enter a feud with the villainous Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Angle would try to play mind games with the Texas Rattlesnake. During a match between Austin and Rob Van Dam on SmackDown, Angle's music would play, but on this occasion, Angle's pyro would also go off. This was a great trick as the pyro made fans and Austin believe that the Olympic gold medalist was indeed about to show up. This distraction allowed RVD to roll up Austin, giving RVD a huge win and hand Austin a rare pinfall loss on WWE television. Number 3, Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, the Edgeheads. Edge was one of the most detested heels of the Ruthless Aggression era, and in late 2007, WWE decided to take his heel character one step further. At the Armageddon pay-per-view event, WWE would debut Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins as the Edgeheads. At a different point in Edge's triple threat matches with Batista and The Undertaker, Ryder and Hawkins, who were dressed in Edge's attire, would switch places with Edge. These distractions allowed Edge to continuously take advantage throughout the match, and eventually it allowed Edge to pin Batista to once again capture the world title. This was one of the strongest storylines of the Ruthless Aggression era, and the way WWE introduced the Edgeheads was simply brilliant. Number 2, The New Day. The nature of the 2017 Survivor Series event was once again built around brand warfare, but this time WWE wanted to add a dream match between The New Day and The Shield onto the match card. To build towards the match, The New Day would distract The Shield during a tag team title match on Raw. Rollins and Ambrose were wrestling the bar when suddenly The New Day's trademark music would play. The New Day would then cut a promo in the crowd and declare that it's time for Under Siege Part 2. Raw General Manager Kurt Angle would then order the Raw locker room to take care of the New Day, but the damage was done. The huge distraction allowed Sheamus to execute a huge brogue kick on Rollins, making he and Cesaro the brand new Raw Tag Team Champions. This was a smart way of advancing the feud between the two legendary stables, and it gave the Shield a genuine and logical reason to face the New Day, rather than the solo backstory for the match being a traditional Raw vs SmackDown encounter. And number 1, Bayley. Since turning heel in 2019, Bayley's work has been tremendous in every aspect. Bayley's heel character is well-rounded, so much so that she often interacts with WWE's referees and has even been known to have verbal exchanges with Michael Cole on commentary. During a 6-woman tag match on Raw in April of 2023, Bayley showcased just how much her heel work has evolved as she expertly distracted the referee in a downright hilarious manner. Bayley was teaming with the rest of her Damage Control stable against the trio Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez when suddenly Bayley decided that her team needed to obtain an unfair advantage. To achieve this, Bayley would fall over the ropes, and this forced the referee to attempt to remove Bayley from the ring. The way Bayley did this was absolutely hilarious, and it's hard not to watch without bursting into laughter. Thankfully for Bayley, this comedic distraction worked, and her Damage Control teammates were able to take full advantage of the situation. Well, there you have it, folks. 10 ingenious ways in which a wrestler distracted their opponent in WWE. Be sure to leave your comments down below. I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.